Hello and welcome to the show. Today is an out and about episode, so expect to hear some noise in the background. What we're going to look at today is how to engage clients in your new hustle. It's a business audit. I'm not going to reveal lots of details about the person or the business because I didn't get the permission to do that. Although for those of you who are going to do business audits in the future, I'm sure to get your permission so I can share the benefits of the conversation over here on the podcast so that people can learn from, you and I bouncing ideas back and forth. So basically today we're just trying to figure out how to engage more clients if you have a side hustle and if you happen to be involved in a retail business like this person is, ideas about how to keep up with cash flow, how to get new clients and those sorts of things. So this was just a one-off conversation. It's a business audit, so nothing too in-depth. The whole point of the business audit is just you and I having a business conversation, trying to figure out what the problems are in your business and trying to see what you need to do to take things to the next level. Of course, if it's something that I can help out with, then of course we will explore conversations in more details about how I can end up working with you. But at the very least, I should be able to give you some ideas about where your business is at, what you need to do to take it to the next level. So that's what we're going to look at today. Before I get on that, I would like to say thank you very much to all of you who've been listening to the show, who've been subscribing, and who have been sharing. Because I just got the details from Spotify, Spotify Wrapped. Because at the date of this recording, we're at the end of 2024. So Spotify has sent me the wrap, just so I can see about the growth of the podcast, and I'm really, I'm glad. I'm touched by those of you who like the show, who joined and who shared, and who are helping the podcast to continue to grow. I think the growth of the podcast this year was over 600%. I'll get the actual figures from the wrap later on. Then I think I experienced the most growth with listeners who are between the ages of 25 to 29. So I'm glad to have you guys on board. It's always nice when people start early. So thanks for listening to the show. I also found out that people who listen to my show, for lots of people, I'm a top 10 show. For some people, I'm a top 5. And for a very small niche, I think not niche anyway, but for a very small number, 170 something, I'm a top 1 podcast. So I'm really glad that you guys keep me on top of the playlist. And I also found out that a bunch of you listen to Femi Lazarus, listen to Koinonia Experience, the Honest Bunch, I Said What I Said, and the Celebration Church International podcast. And I'm glad to see that you guys listen to those shows as well, because these are things that also pique my curiosity, faith, theology, philosophy, all these sorts of things. So, when we chat one-on-one, these are things we can talk about. But of course, I'm going to limit the podcast to purely business matters. So overall, just saying thank you guys very much for helping the podcast grow in 2024. I'll make another podcast episode later on after I have all the details from Spotify so that I can be more specific about what I'm thanking you guys for. So back to the conversation for today on how to engage clients in your side hustle. So this individual, a lady, let me see, I should come up with a name for her, Phoenix. Okay, let's just call her Phoenix. Yeah, because Phoenix, X-Men, Phoenix rising from the ashes. So I had a chat with Phoenix. Phoenix is based in Abuja. This is a side hustle that she's doing. She works with the National Population Commission. Yes, I'm going to say where she works, just so that when Phoenix is listening to this episode, she knows that, I'm talking about her. Of course, not using her real name. So Phoenix works in the National Population Commission, and she has a side hustle where she sells. Okay, I'm not going to say what she sells, because if I do, then that might be revealing her identity. Also, so that if her boss is listening to this podcast, he doesn't figure out who she is. Because, as we know, in this part of the world, if you work in the civil service, you're not supposed to have a side hustle. But I'm one of those Nigerians who has a gripe with these kinds of rules, because you work somewhere, NTA, MPC, Ministry of Finance, but, Oga has a side hustle. Your line manager has a side hustle. As in, everybody has side hustle. So, what are we doing here? We might as well just change the law and make sure that we have strict regulations under which conditions you can have these sorts of side hustles. Because I remember the kind of abuses that used to go on back when So excuse me, people in my set were like in primary school, some teachers come in, they're supposed to be teaching, but they're selling clothes on the side and stuff like that. Like maybe customers come and meet them in the classroom. I didn't have any of those incidences, but I heard from some of my classmates that stuff like that used to happen. So yes, we do not want to have these situations where people are supposed to be doing their main work, their government work, and then they're doing side hustles. So I understand where these things are supposed to be. But the thing is, if we're not going to enforce these rules uniformly, because in practice what happens is desk officer can't have a side hustle, but then the DG has side hustle, or the MD has side hustle. In fact, the MD might even have a company that is now supplying to the parastatal, to the ministry. Anyway, don't mind me, Sha, because my father used to be in the civil service, so I just have very strong opinions about some of these things. You find that those of us who are civil service kids, we have some strong opinions about these things. So, yeah, so she has a side hustle. And then we had a conversation around margins, because her own margins are roughly between 15 and 30K. And so she didn't know what was a healthy idea for her margins. To be honest, when we say margins in this case, all we mean is, the money you put on top. So let's say you sell something, and to manufacture the thing or to buy the thing, it costs you 60K. And then when you sell it for 75. So that 15K on top, that is your margin. By the way, for those of you who studied accounts, you will tell me that yes, my math is wrong, and yeah, of course, there's a much more technically precise way to calculate your margins. But for now, to keep it simple, if you buy something for X and you sell it for X plus 2, then that plus 2 is your margin, just for the purpose of this podcast and the purpose of keeping it simple. Now, so her margins are between 15 and 30K, 30,000. And so she doesn't know if that's a healthy margin. And for her industry, I don't know if it's a healthy margin either. This is something that you figure out after you stay in the industry a bit, and after you talk to a bunch of people, like, oh, how much do you sell your own for, stuff like that. Because you might be selling for 15, 30K, and you think that that's a good margin. But then you talk to your contemporaries and you find out that your contemporaries are selling a 100K margin. And then in that case, you now know that, okay, your margins are not typical, are not healthy. So it all depends. So there's some industries where if you sell at a 15K margin, it's fantastic. And then there's some industries where if you sell at a 15K margin, it is absolute rubbish. And the example that I gave Phoenix when we were talking was a friend of mine who sells rice. And the last time that I spoke to that friend of mine, he was making about 7K on each bag, 10K on each bag, and that was considered typical. So for her, she sold a relatively smaller, what she's selling is smaller. And so for her to be making 15 to 30K on that thing, I thought was not bad. However, this was my advice. Whether this is a healthy margin or not is not the main thing that we're supposed to be discussing now. My own opinion was this. You have margins of 15 to 30K. Let's keep it like that. Now, let's see how you can get some things moving in your favor. Let's see how you can work on payment terms for your business. And let's see how you can increase the number of distributors, or number of resellers, and the number of customers that you have. Because even though the profit margins was 15 to 30, she was having problems with payment terms, because it's one of these things that people buy now and then they pay later. And then, of course, she buys the goods now, she gives it to the person now, but then the money is going to come maybe like next month or in 2 months. So I told her that some of those concerns, how to manage these sorts of things, is mostly a cash flow issue, and it's not something I have the expertise to be able to sort out, because I don't, it's not my area of specialty, so I can't advise you on those sorts of things. How many things should you keep? Okay, let's say it's bags. How many bags should you buy? How many should you keep in inventory? What is the maximum number that you can sell every single month on credit? And if you sell on credit, how many days must you collect your money before you run out of money? Because these are some of the concerns that those of you who sell physical products have. For those of us who sell services, we don't really have these concerns per se, because even if you do something for someone on credit, by the way, I'm not going to advise that you sell services on credit, because that's really tricky. Because at least if you sell handbag on credit, the person is using the handbag, so the thing is tricking the person's conscience that, I'm rocking this bag, I haven't paid this money. With services, it's a bit different. If you're a web designer, you go ahead and you design the website and you give the person on credit, then, man, you're putting yourself on some long jump. So I won't recommend service providers do things on credit. So where was I? Yeah, it's a cash flow concern because those of you who sell physical stuff, you need money to buy the goods. Sometimes you're paying to store the goods somewhere. Let's say you have a shop. And then when you sell the goods, you need to bring money in so that you can buy the next set. So if you're giving people goods on credit now, you're tying up money that you're supposed to use to be buying new inventory. So it's a cash flow thing. So I told her, go talk to someone else who studied accounting or maybe somebody who studied business. I mean, even if they can't answer your questions, they'll be able to point you to the right specialist who'll be able to advise you. And I told her it's just typical because it's like banks that I told her. So banks, they collect people's money and they keep in the coffers. But as they're lending it out to other people, they also need to have a certain amount in reserve so that when people come and say, look, give me my money, they have money to give them. So it's a cash flow management thing. So I told her, so you need to work on your payment terms. How do you stop selling to people on credit? How do you make sure that you collect, you're collecting quicker, all those sorts of things. Because if you reduce the amount of credit you're giving people, and that's assuming you keep the revenue the same. So let's say last year you made 1M on your business. This year you make 1M on your business. But last year you were giving people credit and they were taking 2 months to pay. If in this year you still made 1M revenue, but you are giving people 30 days to pay or 15 days to pay, you will find that your life will just be with a whole lot less stress. So same amount of money, but a better quality of life because there's less stress, because people are paying quicker. So you don't have to worry too much about where you get money to make inventory or to pay your staff or things like that. So I told her, margins, just hang on for now. We both don't know enough about what is good. We need to talk to other people in your industry. So let's figure out payment terms. Let's say we can be collecting money sharp. Or we reduce the amount of credit that we're selling on. And then she had 2 distributors based in Abuja. Two distributors based in Maraba. So she's sourcing stuff from, I can't remember if it's Kano or Lagos that she's sourcing her stuff from, and then selling in Abuja, especially the outskirts, all those places closer to Nasarawa State. So selling in Maraba. So she has 2 retailers there. One retailer very consistent, the other one not so much. So my advice was, okay, now that you have this guy, the fellow that's consistent. Okay, I told her about the some people call Pareto's principle, some people call it the 80-20 rule, some people call it the law of unequal distribution. I prefer to say law of unequal distribution because when you tell people 80-20 and then they look and then they see that statistically it was not 80-20, they'll say, oh, this thing is false. The main thing is not the amount. The main thing is this, that you will find in your business that the most money you will make will come from a small group of your customers. The biggest results that you get will come from from a smaller segment, smaller group of customers, or small set of activities that you do. So when you think of the law of unequal distribution, you're trying to figure out what is that thing that I do that gives me the most profit, and then let me double down on that. So in this case, a few retailers, but mostly 2, one of them really consistent. So if you double down on what's working, you talk to the guy who is consistent, you try and get him to buy more from you, or you try and raise the prices on what it is that he buys, or you try and get referrals from him so that he's referring you to other distributors who have the same work ethic and who have the same reach and who bring in good business, and you'll find that will make your life a whole lot easier if you're similar in Phoenix's position. So if you have 2 distributors, one of them is very consistent, the other guy is one kind. My advice, the one kind guy, okay, keep doing business with him. But that person who is consistent, man, double in. Give him or her favorable terms. Try and see how you can move more merchandise. See if you can move merchandise with this person at higher prices. Worst case scenario, make sure you're trying to get referrals from this person so that this kind of distributor is referring you to other kinds of distributors, because it will make your life much, much, much sweeter. The goal is we try and sweeten up our life so that this other distributor who is one kind, we just free the person. Because business is hard. To come and now start babysitting somebody else, constantly calling, constantly toasting, constantly chasing, I beg, that's wahala that we don't need. So let's make sure that we're dealing with resellers, distributors, merchandisers, whatever, people that don't give us stress. People that they're doing their business, they're handling their business. we're working with them, and like I'm growing my business, you're growing your business, together we're growing our business. Partners in progress, that's what we should be looking for. Anybody who is not a partner in progress, just let that person fall by the wayside. So for now, yeah, do business with the person, but people are not really partnering with you. Let that person fall by the wayside. Those of us who want to make progress, let's be making progress together. Let's be moving forward. Then let's see what else. Okay, and then she also has a bunch of customers in the office, and for that I applauded her. Because when you're starting off in business, just like Phoenix is, it is, well, talking to strangers is hard. So it's easiest when you start with friends, family members, and associates. So if it's something that Momsy and Popsy can buy, talk to Momsy and Popsy. If they buy, you can ask if Momsy and Popsy have friends who might be interested. That's a lot easier conversation to have than going to go and start with somebody brand new. So start with family. See if you can sell in family. Then move to your friends. See if you can sell with friends. Then move to colleagues, people at work. See if they'll buy from you. Then spread it out small. See if you can buy from people who go to church with you, or who go to mosque with you, or whatever. So like that. You start with the people that you know, and it's easier to gain some confidence, so that then you can start talking to strangers. So that's one thing that Phoenix did. That's really good. I clap for her, and you guys should do that as well if you're coming new into the business. Friends, family members, colleagues, associates, acquaintances, before you start moving out to strangers. Some of us have no problem with talking with strangers, but it's a muscle that you build over time. So I told her, yeah, cool. Talking to people in the office, very good. But after a while, you're going to exhaust the office. So what you do is, unfortunately for her, the parastatal that she works with is not in the secretariat, because if it was in the secretariat, it would be beautiful. Because what you can do is, since you already work at let's say, let me see, there's Ministry for Commerce. Yeah, Ministry for Commerce is in area, I think that's like Durumi side in Abuja. Abi? Okay, let me just use, so like Durumi, and then maybe like Lagos, Alausa. So you see how all those buildings are choked together. So this is the whole idea. So if you work in NEPA, in Lagos, in Alausa, for instance, you talk to people in your department, you can come down and go downstairs, and voila, it's a whole new department, more people to talk to. Let's say you 6 months and you've used the whole building. Everybody knows that, okay, this girl that stays on the 6th floor, she sells bag of rice. Everybody there now knows you. You can now come outside, move to the left, move to the right. There's another building, there's another ministry, there's another parastatal, and start trying to sell there. So that's the kind of scope that I gave her. So I told her that in America, for people in the real estate space, I think they call it land and expand. So the whole idea is this: if there's a street of 10 houses and you end up doing business with house number 5, that's the one that clicks. When you finish the business at house number 5, you come out and then you enter house number 4, see if you can do business there. Whether it clicks or it doesn't click, you come out and then you go to house number 6 and see if you can do business there. So that's the whole idea with a land and a grab. This person has agreed with me. Okay, no problem. Now that I'm finished with this person, I'll move to the left and I'll try my luck. I'll move to the right and I'll try my luck. It's not everything that clicks, but as you keep doing this thing over time, your odds of business success continue to increase. And then, of course, if house number 4 clicks, you do the same thing. You come out and you go to house number 3. So you see how it works. So you land in one place and try and expand from there. You land here, you come out, move to the left, see how you can do business. Move to the right, see how you can do business. So I told her she have to do that kind of scope as well. That's when it comes to physical prospecting. That's going to go and talk to people one-on-one. It's land and expand is easy to do when you work, when you're in paid employment and you're around some businesses, because people see you, so it's not hard. So if you work in a business at okay, let's see how I put it now. Let me go back to Ministry of Commerce. So excuse me, Hamatan, so cold in Abuja. So let's say you work with Ministry of Commerce with the office in Durumi or Area 1. That's in Abuja, the old secretariat. Now, Ministry of Commerce is close to NOA, National Orientation Agency, and it's close to is it MPC? That's Population Commission, and anyway, they're close to themselves. Commerce is close, National Orientation is close, and I think Population Commission. I'm not sure. So the thing is this: as you're coming into office every day, let's say you've been working there for like 2-3 years, the security guards, they know you. they see you. Hopefully you've been greeting them, hey bros, how you doing now? How's the family? That kind of thing. So they see you as you go into work. So if by the time you finish working your department, let's say you're in Ministry of Commerce, you've spoken to people in your department, everybody knows that you sell rice. You now move upstairs, people upstairs know that you sell rice. You now move downstairs, people know that you sell rice. The reason why I'm using rice is because at the date of this recording, it's December, I think it's December 3rd or 4th. Sorry, I left my watch at home, so where was I? And so it's like December 3rd or 4th, we're heading towards Christmas. So chicken, rice, tomatoes, granite oil, that kind of thing. So those are the kind of things that folks are trying to flog right now. Sorry about that. This cold is really doing me strong thing. Where was I? So yeah, that's why I'm using rice as an example. So everybody in your department, they know you sell rice. Upstairs, they know you sell rice. Downstairs, they know you sell rice. You will now come out of your building, Ministry of Commerce, because you have spoken to everybody humanly possible in Ministry of Commerce. You will now move to the left. That is NOA, National Orientation Agency. Since you've been coming to work there for about 2 years, you've been greeting all the security guards. The security guards already know you. They won't stop you from entering the building because, like, oh, that's our sister. They say, madam, how now? How you do? Our business, blah, blah, blah. You enter the building. And then you start doing your magic again. You know somebody who works with maybe finance department in NOA, National Orientation Agency. You go there, you cozy up to the person, and you say, oh, I beg. Yeah, I'm here. It's my break time. Christmas is coming now. I have some good deals on rice. Are you interested? If she's interested, you talk. Let me think about it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so who else can I talk to? Who do you think might be a good person here? She refers you to another person, and then that's how you start the runs all over again. And you now start trying to work your magic in NOA, National Orientation Agency. Now, if it takes you 2-3 months to work the whole building in National Orientation Agency, you come out again, and then you now move to the right to NPC, Population Commission, and then you try again. Now, remember what I said at the top of the episode. I am not advocating that our civil servants should go around selling rice and stuff like that. But I believe that there are ethical parameters within which we can allow people who work in the civil service to engage in the trade. Right now, the rules are that if you work in the civil service or in the government sector, the only business that you should do is farming. I guess the reason why they say so is because farming, maybe you can do it one or 2 days a week, or pay for a person to be on the farm, but it's not going to affect your work. But anyway, so I'm not saying that people who work in the government sector, people who work in the civil service should be trans. I'm just trying to show you how you can do land and expand when you're trying to promote your business and you're trying to look for new customers. Then she had one customer who was a really, really good customer, but then the customer got transferred to Port Harcourt. And of course, I asked Phoenix, like, I hope you've been in touch with the guy. And she said yes. And I was like, very good. Because the problem that we have, the mistake a lot of you make is this. You have a very correct customer, but then the customer jackpots and you're like, oh, she has moved to Canada, he has moved to Canada, oh well. And then you never keep in touch again. Like, you should be keeping in touch. You don't know what's up. You don't know what kind of opportunities you can leverage later on. So we should always be in touch with people. It's not just a matter of they're here with us, we see them, we're good friends. Then they get promoted or they get transferred or they travel and then we lose touch. So I told her, like, you've been calling to greet him. Okay, yeah, that's good. And I tried to figure out why he was buying from her. Because it seemed for me like it probably was not something that the guy would be using himself. I said, oh no, it's mostly because he liked my hustle and he was trying to support my business. And I said, okay, fantastic. So what that means is trying to get referral conversations with him now will be a whole lot easier. It will be a matter of, hey, bros, Egbon, thank you very much. While you were here, you really appreciated my business. In fact, we miss you now that you're gone. Thank you very much for the support. I beg, now that you're gone, I'd still appreciate referrals, recommendations, any way that you can to continue to promote my hustle. So that kind of conversation, there'll be a whole lot easier, because the main reason why the guy was patronizing anyway was just because, like, oh, you're my younger sister, I like the way you're doing this thing, I want to make sure that this business is moving. So it'll be a very easy conversation to have. So referrals, for those of you who are in this sort of space, you have stuff that you're retailing. Referrals, something that you should kata. So something you should be trying to hook up as well. Then she also had questions around producing content and using WhatsApp, because WhatsApp was a very big way for her to promote her business. In fact, I need to sit down with all these WhatsApp people and take classes with them and figure out how you use WhatsApp to be drumming up business, because there are people who are making a killing on WhatsApp. So for her, social media equals zero, because WhatsApp and talking to people is where she's making all her money. So by the way, I hope you guys see that this is a perfect example about how things are contextual. Some people say for XYZ kinds of businesses, you must be on social media. But I continually run into people who cannot even spell social media, but they're making a killing doing something else, like in this case, doing WhatsApp. So, so we had the conversation. I told her the same thing that I told the ladies at the Avon Innovation Hub, the session that we had on digital marketing for women. We just used Google Gemini, we freestyled, we roughed it, we came up with a content calendar on the spot. And then she now had ideas for creating content. Now, this is the beauty of a content calendar. What we came up with was 7 ideas for a week, 7 themes for the week. There was Monday, motivation. There was tip Tuesday. There was something Wednesday, something Thursday, something Friday, 7 days of the week. So, sorry, one moment. All right, so this is what I told her. If you take these 7 ideas and you're able to get three ideas on by your own head, you go and freestyle and come up with 3 ideas for each day. What you now have is 21 ideas. Remember, Gemini gave us 7 ideas. Motivation Monday, talk about these kind of things. Tip Tuesday, talk about these sorts of things. Dash Wednesday, talk about these sorts of things. Dash Thursday, Dash Friday, something Saturday, something Sunday, talk about these sorts of things. So that's, if you come up with three ideas each, that's 21 days. I now asked her, what's going to be comfortable for you? Me, I try and post every day, but posting every day is hard, so it's not for everybody. And she admitted that, yeah, for her, if she does 3 times a week, she has tried. So I said, okay, no problem. So let's look at 3 times a week then. She said, okay, good. She's comfortable with 3 times a week. So I now told her that you see these 21 ideas that we have now. If you're posting for only 3 days a week, that means you already have content now for 7 weeks straight. I hope you guys heard me. Gemini gave some ideas. He gave 7 ideas. And I told her, you do some homework. On these 7 ideas that we have, just add two extra ideas to what was given here. That will give you 21 days worth of content. But since for you, posting every day will be work, but you know you can do 3 days because she's also studying for masters. At posting for 3 days a week, you will now have 7 weeks worth of content. Meaning, if you are posting January 1st, you have enough content that will now last you until February 14th. That'll be February 20 something. This is the benefit of a content calendar, and that is why I keep talking about a content calendar. It makes your life easier. You wake up, you don't have to think about what to post. You just look at your content calendar and then you continue. And in her own case, you have a guide that will last you for 7 weeks. Imagine the freedom of not having to worry about what is it that am I going to post today, because you know that for the next 7 weeks it is sorted. It has already been decided. That's why I keep talking about content calendar. I know it sounds kind of simple, that's why you guys don't take it seriously, but look, content calendar is the way to go. How do you think I've been able to do 990 something episodes so far? It's precisely because I have some sort of a content calendar. I don't have to wake up and decide what is it am I going to post today. Oh, sorry, hold on, let me check the clock. I have a 10 o'clock meeting. Oh, okay, so 10 minutes to go. I can wrap this up quickly. So that's the reason why I've been able to do over 990 something episodes so far. In a couple of days, I hit 1,000 episodes. It's because I have a content calendar. Tomorrow, I don't have to think about what to post. All I have to do is wake up and open my diary. Oh, okay, that's the next thing. And then I record the episode, and that's it. If I forget my diary, I also have a content calendar on my phone. I just open the note. I say, oh, okay, that's the next thing. And then I record. And it's that simple. It'll be odd. In fact, it hasn't happened to me before that I forget my diary and then I forget my phone. So if I forget my phone, I forget my diary, then okay, I'm in trouble. Then there's no content for the day. But if my book is with me, if my phone is with me, I'm good to go. There will be content that day. So please, content calendar. Now, for her, the only difference that I made was this. There's some posts that she puts up that are supposed to where she puts call to action, as in buy now, 20% discount, get for your man, because there was an it was International Men's Day or International Father's Day or something like that. I think maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. So those kinds of posts, buy now, say hi for 5% discount, don't leave your husbands out, get for your man, all those kinds of things. So I told her that with this content calendar she has come up with, she should not be. Sorry about that. This is a tractor driving by. Okay, well, not tractor, dustbin truck. Anyway, so what was I? Yes. So I told her not every single post should be buy now, say hi for 20% discount, buy before so and so, or get for your man. Not every single business post should have that kind of call to action. So I told her, how do we agree we're going to space it out? Okay, we agreed that we're going to do only one day a week where the message is going to be buy now. But the rest of the posts should be something entertaining or something educating so that you remain top of mind with people. Because if Monday your posts are buy now, Tuesday your post is 20% discount, Wednesday your post is buy for your man, don't leave him left out, Thursday your post is buy for your babe, your children, Friday buy for your side chick, Sunday buy for yourself. If that's all you put up, buy, people start skipping you on WhatsApp as they're watching WhatsApp status. I prefer to say viewing WhatsApp status, but I don't know. Abuja people keep saying watching status. They say, oh boy, they watch status. I'm like, look, it is not a TV. We watch TV. We don't watch WhatsApp status. You view the status. Well, anyway, that's just me. So, as you're viewing status or as you're watching status now, if you're the person who keeps saying buy, once they see the first post that, oh, is this person, you just skip. Or at least for my wife, there's a way she just taps. You tap left, you tap right, and then the thing will just skip through everything. There are some people who even know how to skip a person altogether. So they'll start skipping you. So don't make all your messages buy. Those buy messages, maybe once or twice a week. Every other thing, let it be educational, let it be infotainment, or let it be something. So that was just a summary of the conversation that I had with Phoenix around her business audit. So if you would love to have a business audit, or if you'd love to connect with me, the number is 080-6466-2140. The country code is +234 for those of you who are not Nigerian. Then to connect with me on socials, I'm on LinkedIn. The name is Tabishima Ayede. Remember, I am shutting down my Facebook and my Instagram and my TikTok because I'm not doing anything with them. And somebody has tried to hack me 3 times already on Facebook, and I don't like the stress, so I might as well just shut everything down. So for Facebook, it's a 30-day thing, so the profile is still going to be up until January of 2025. But I'm not doing anything with it. After January 2025, the thing is going to be gone. So LinkedIn, that's the only place you're going to be able to find me for now. So yeah, that's how to reach out. That's how to connect. You want a business audit at no cost, reach out to me. Let's see what we can make happen. So thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys in the next episode, and you all have a wonderful day.